Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Essential Investments. We have a very, very, very special guest today. We have Darcy Donavan. I've been itching to have her on the show for a while, and I'm super excited that she's here today. And just before we started this thing, and before it was recorded, I was just telling her that I'm kind of fangirling a little bit, just a side, because I've been following Darcy for a while. She's been following me for a while, and I love everything that she's doing. I've seen her account grow like exponentially since I've known her. It's when I first started following her almost a year back, and I'm super happy. I'm super, like, as weird as it says, like, proud. Like, I'm proud of you. Like, yeah, I'm happy for you. So I'm very happy that you're here.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
You can hear me, right?
Yeah. I thought I was rugged.
Oh God, yeah, me too. I didn't know. No, you're so sweet. I really appreciate that, and I'm really proud of all your accomplishments as well. I mean, vice versa. I think you're absolutely awesome, and I'm excited because you're going to be speaking at one of the NFT3 awards, and I'm going to be there too. I've got 4 awards.
Yeah, I know. You're I was looking at it. I'm like, okay, now Darcy's nominated for this one. Like,
I hope I get at least one. God, if I walk away with 4, whatever. I don't care. I'm not gonna be one of those girls. It's like, you know what? I'll treat it like an Emmy nomination. You know how they say, and she was nominated. She has an Emmy. I'll just say, hey, I had a nomination for an NFT award, whatever.
I love it. So just a little bit of backstory, right? So let's first establish the backstory. So Darcy Donavan, she's like a huge figure in a huge figure in the crypto space, in the NFT space. I started seeing her pop up in December a lot on the Chrono Spaces, and like when Chronos was first coming out, and I remember her in Chrono Spaces. And that's actually when I started following her. So now I want to bring it back to you, right? So what do you do? Well, what's your main job besides crypto and crypto / NFTs?
I mean, I'm kind of an overachiever. I've always been. I've been in the entertainment business since I was a kid. But I mean, I do film and television actress. I do producing. I'm a recording artist. I wrote a book. I'm working on 3 screenplays right now. I've got, television series that's in development. I've got an NFT line that I'm working on, to make that, to produce, blockbuster films. So, I've got 6 dogs. So it's pretty much, that's it. No,
That's
not
awesome.
too much. I'm not too busy. No,
not too busy. So just so you guys can see, this is as I do with all my guests. So this is her Twitter. If you guys want to go and shoot her a follow, she's awesome. She's always interacting. So if you guys do want to shoot her a follow, this is her account. So as you guys can see, literally just as she said, film and TV actress, recording artist, producer, author, crypto queen, and just superwoman. You should have added there somewhere.
you're so cute.
But truthfully, like, I'm excited because I see you all over the place, right? So a little bit of backstory on how I got, and how the NFT3, because as she mentioned, how the NFT3 happened, and pretty much all of it. So it's kind of funny how everything kind of comes full circle, right? So
Right.
I've been following Darcy. I've been following her for a while, and on Twitter, I should say. I've been following her on for a while on Twitter, and she tweeted something about NFT3, or like, there's a convention, and I was currently in New York shooting for the Chronos side, like just shooting a bunch of content. And I was at NFT NYC, and she tweeted something about NFT3, and I was like, what's this? So I went and checked them out, and when I went to check it out, their tweet was like, oh, if you find our CEO at NFT NYC, then you can go and you get a free ticket to NFT3. So I was like, yeah, like, I want to do that. So I literally went and looked for the CEO, and then I just started looking for him everywhere. Like, I couldn't find him anywhere. So I was like, okay, I'm losing my mind. It's already been an hour. So I'm like, okay, what do I need to do? I went and I tweeted at them. I'm like, hey, like, where are you guys? Like, where's the CEO? Like, I'm trying to find him. And they're like, oh, he's at this party. So I went with my wife. We went on a bus, and then we walked to the party that he's at, and just to meet him. We shot a little promo video, and I got to get in contact with him. And, we were able to build an awesome relationship. And it was all through Darcy, right? And Yeah, it's all through Darcy, and that's why I was like, okay, if there's somebody that I need to have on, like as a celebrity guest, as an awesome guest, I have to invite Darcy, because like, you know, you're freaking awesome, dude, and like I wouldn't have connected with NFT3, I wouldn't have been so intertwined in these spaces and everything if it wasn't for you. So huge
Oh,
shout out for that.
well, thank you. Well, the thing is that they call me Darcy the Connector Donovan. And and listen, I'm not, I'm not trying to. I want to be as humble as possible, but I'm just going to say this: I do wish that I had somebody when I was growing up like me, at where I'm at in life, that would have helped me, because I just noticed when I was trying to, make businesses do things, people didn't want to help me. They, there's a lot of, oh, I don't, I don't want you to be more successful than me. I don't want you to, you know what I mean? So, I was like, I don't want that. And that I want other people to, it's good to lift all of us up. You never, and here's the thing, it's not good to burn bridges. It's just not in any kind of business. I mean, even in relationships, if you can walk away from a relationship and be respectful about it and civil about it, not like the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard thing. But
that's a good example.
your light will not shine any brighter if you try to burn someone else's out. It's just not going to happen. And so that's a motto that I've always lived by. But I definitely, there's all types of people I can connect. I have, fans flying in. Some don't know anything about crypto. And, I said, listen, when you come in, they're going to find the booth that I'm at. I said, listen, I'm definitely going to help you out. They want to get invested in stuff. So the stuff that I'm invested in, I told them, I said, I'll hook you up. I'll get you your wallet. We'll help you right then and there. Just come up to the booth and I'll do that. And that's how it should be. I mean, Santi, it's sad because too, it's like I had a huge crush on a particular actor, and everybody tries to get it out of me, but I'm just going to tell you, I won't say. I'm not
I already know it's Brad Pitt.
My grandfather said, if you don't have nothing nice to say, just keep your mouth shut. So, I met him. It was not what I wanted. Like, it was terrible. And I mean, you got to think of countless hours as, a kid, just dreaming about this person, buying everything that they had. And the experience was way less than stellar at that, and then my mom knew how big of a crush. They met him, and then my mom was like, oh my God, what a jerk. And I'm like, so the thing is that I try to go, whatever's happened bad to me, I just don't really, I want other people not to deal with that. I want people to know, hey, Darcy has integrity. It's not like I have to worry about, a Bill Cosby scandal, because that like shredded me, man. That was when, I grew up watching, the Huxtables, and, I just thought he was the ultimate they were the ultimate family. And then when you find out, you kind of put that person on a pedestal, and kind of what I did. And it's sad because, you put it's like these people become something that you look up to almost. So, I just want that when people meet me, I try to go above and beyond. I always just want to keep that going, because I just know how I felt when I met somebody that I ultimately just adored and, kind of worshiped in a way, when I was a kid, and then to meet them, it was terrible. So it's like, I just want that everybody to have that experience and have somebody that they know, hey, Darcy's got my butt, Darcy's gonna, if she got duped, then, hey, then they were really bad people. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I mean, anybody that I try to put somebody with, I always, my team does their research, and, it's like, I'm just really big on people having integrity. And, I'll call somebody out. Like, I'll call somebody out on national TV. I don't care. It's just, that's the problem, but now people are starting to do it, the whole Me Too movement and all that. It's like, you got to call people out on their bad behavior, man. You just do. It's like, I don't mind if I go out and I have bad breath. I mean, if I have bad breath or, BO, somebody better freaking tell me, But I'm the type I'll just be like, dude, here's a mint. You need a mint. Oh my God. Or somebody, smells, I'm like, listen, you got to do something.
No, that's hilarious. And it's kind of funny that you mentioned that, because there's a huge wave of like, you never want to meet your heroes, right? And
yeah,
that's just kind of how it is. Yeah, because sometimes like you're kind of like, you're hoping that they're like gonna be like this, top notch dude, and whatever, but it's like, they're okay, or sometimes you're just like, okay, this guy's kind of a dick, like, and it's happened to me before. Yeah, it's happened.
Think about it. Think about if you're like this huge Batman fan, right? You love Batman, everything Batman. Then you find out he's a serial killer. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna be like, what?
Yep.
Oh my God. Then it's like you're crushed, and I just, it's sad. I understand, their business, there is scrutiny and stuff. I guess I'm just the type of person that I feel like my stubborn headedness, and I'll show you, or you're not going to talk to me or my friend like that. I'll show you. That's what's kept me going. And I think when you get coddled too much as a child, I think it can actually be really bad for you.
I agree.
Growing
100%.
up.
100%.
So, I had a rough upbringing. My grandmother was, oh my God, she was brutal. She was German, and like feisty German woman, and sassy as all get out. And man, she could scare anybody. I don't care if you're a, 300 all muscle, 6'5", black man in a gang, she'll scare you.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a white guy in a gang, she'll scare you. Like it's just, she just had this power, and I was very shy as a kid, believe it or not. But when she would call people out, I just had this admiration for her. I was like, Grandma, when I grow up, I want to be just like you,
No,
and I love my mom, but my mom's a puss, man. She's a pussy. I hate it. I love her. I love you, Mom. Hilarious. If you hear this, I love you, but she's a wuss. She knows it. It drives me nuts because I'm the opposite of that. So, I just feel like, you should stand up for what you believe in. I always believe in being respectful. I want to teach people how to be, and listen, I'm not perfect, but I tell people there's about a week every month where, I turn into a gremlin. I'm, it's a hormonal thing. I can't help it. I'm a woman. So I try to do everything I can to either schedule things around it, or just, calling sick.
No, and it's funny that you mentioned that, because like one of my biggest role models in my life is truthfully my mom, right? Because like my dad, he's a beast, he's awesome, but my mom, she is tough, man. Like, she just like your grandma, like she's one of those people that like you don't cross. Like she is like, she truly causes like fear for people. Like, we were, this reminds me, once we were at a supermarket or something, and when it was like, I forgot what happened. I was young, I was very young. And
what's her name?
Oh, my mom's name is
your grandmother. No, your grandmother.
Oh, my grandma, her name is Lily. Yeah.
Lily, but your mom, so your grandmother was the one that was doing this, or your mother?
No, my mom.
Oh, your mom.
Yeah, my
mom,
yeah.
Lily? Okay.
No, my mom's name is Monica.
Monica. Oh, that's pretty. Okay, yeah. So Monica. So Monica was being savage. I love it. I love it.
No, we were at a supermarket, and I forgot what happened. I dropped something. Like, I was a kid, like in middle school, like, and I forgot what something happened. I dropped something on some lady, or I don't know, something like, something happened, but the lady went berserk. Like, she was like one of those like classic Karens, like, oh my God, she was going crazy in the supermarket. She was making a whole scene, and I was a kid, like, I just said sorry, like, and then she was like making a whole thing. And my mom, she just looked there. She goes, is there a problem? And instantly, it was like a tear, like you could hear like a raindrop in the supermarket. And she was making a whole fuss. Everybody's looking, and she goes, "Is there a problem?" And the lady's like, your son drops." She goes, "Yeah, he's young, he's stupid. Is there a problem?" And then she just like, she did this. She's like, no, I get, she goes, okay, that's what I thought. And she just walked away. And we're like, you know what it is? Like she's that hardcore that she got the whole supermarket to like shut up. Like I promise, it was like a movie scene. Like everybody just kind of like froze. And like, and then she's like, okay, she grabbed me and she goes, you're going to learn at home. And I got my ass beat for that one, but it's okay, you know? But the thing is, she was strong, and she's like a strong female character and or female lead in my life. And I can honestly say that, like, you know, when it comes to these empowering women, and you yourself included, right? It's awesome because like it's not just like, not only in crypto and NFT, like, you know, a lot of the things feel sometimes male dominated, but in reality, it's like, you know, women are badasses, dude. Like my mom will beat, anybody.
I will, but see, you know, not everybody's like that, and that's what I try to tell people. I'm like, you know, if you there, because you know, I always say, to be a follower, there's a lot of responsibility. Or not a follower, I'm sorry, be a leader. But even a follower, they have their responsibility. You have Batman and Robin, you have, you know, Ren and Stimpy, you have, you know, all these characters, Pinky and the Brain, you know, there's just always, you know, it's always like, it's always duo characters. And so, you know, to have a leader, you have to have followers. And the thing is that, you know, those followers, they have a job to lift up their leader and to help their leader carry out the mission. And the leader's got a lot on their back too. So, you know, you have to make decisions, because I have people, you know, they're like, man, I wish I want what you have. I want where you're going, but yet they don't have the balls to make the decisions. So they know, they're like, I just can't do it, which it's decision making is so easy for me because I have to do it every single day almost, you know, with businesses. And, you know, it's interesting to see when I go in these spaces and I see these CEOs of, you know, upcoming huge corporations, and they're not even running it right. And then they start asking me questions, and I'm just like, that's ridiculous. You know, why are you running your business like this? And they're like, oh, I didn't think about that. I'm like, yeah. And to be a leader, you know, one guy was in a space, and, you know, he's a CEO. He had all these accolades, you know, and he's trying to start up I think it was a jet company or something. And I'm thinking to myself, you need to let people know. People need to know. I mean, my bragging rights aren't like, hey, I've done film and television, I'm a recorder. Those are my rights of, this is what I've done. This is my resume. This is the things that I know a lot about. And I feel like people should let people know. I mean, here's the deal. If somebody comes up to you and they said, hey, I want an investment. It's a huge investment. It's a great idea. You like the idea, but they said, hey, I'm just graduated from Yale University. I worked as an intern with Elon Musk. I'm also doing this and this with Robert Kiyosaki. You know, you would go, wow. Okay. So you would feel better, unless some guy goes, you know, hey, can I borrow $100,000? You know, yeah. And you're like, oh, I love the idea. And you're like, what have you done? Well, I work as a grocer at the Piggly Wiggly. And that's about it. You're like, okay. And I'm not saying anything for people that work as a grocery store person at Piggly Wiggly. Okay. Some of the biggest stars have done that. I mean, I worked at food restaurants when I was 15 to try to get my car. So, hey, you know what I'm saying? The more power to you. Yeah. So there is no disrespect there at all. We've all had, you know, to make our money to get where we're at. My point is that, you know, you need to build up. People come right out of the gate. And I mean, you know, for me to do magazine covers and do all this, I mean, I started out, you know, because I did the research, because no other models would help me. But, you know, I'm here to share information with people. You know, if you want to become a model, there's plenty of photographers out of photography school that need a model, and they'll trade you pics for, you know, their time. So you don't have to pay somebody. That's how you can build up a portfolio, you know, in film and television too, because, you know, you need to be getting pictures done every so often. And so, you know, some people just can't afford that. You know, there's a lot of people that are waitresses or waiters and trying to make money. That's what I try to save people money. I try to help them and give them the knowledge that I have, because I didn't have that. And it was rough. So I try to be the leader that, for some reason I don't feel like we have that nowadays. I really don't feel like, I mean, I'm trying to think of who's an icon of today, I mean, I get different answers. I mean, I think Jennifer Lopez is very classy. I would consider her, people consider Beyonce an icon.
Beyonce's a good one.
So I'm trying to figure out male, like who's a male icon. Like
I'd say Brad Pitt. I love his movies, man.
Brad Pitt. I'm starting to think more and more The Rock possibly.
Yeah.
But The Rock, his clean record, he's just, everybody loves him, how he's so positive. Brad Pitt is an icon. And unfortunately, some of the things that he's gone through has dimmed the light a little bit, and here's the deal. It's like, everybody's got their thing. Everybody's not going to be perfect. I mean, I'm sure, people are going to say stuff about me. And, my thing is if I was a jerk or something, I'll say, you know what, I was a jerk, or I shouldn't have done that, or I was stupid. I mean, a lot of stuff is when you're immature and dumb and you just make wrong decisions, like I dated the wrong guy, and that was stupid, so,
no, and sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I take all my stuff that I've gone through, and I just kind of, and in Web 2, I take all the stuff that I've gone through, and I just kind of like try to teach people, in the communities, in the Web3 communities, just, what I've gone through, so you don't have to go through it. And, I had a producer one time come to me. He says, my kid is in a situation with a girl, and would you talk to him, because he won't leave her, and she's really bad for him. And he's done stuff on television and stuff, his up and coming career. And I mean, I just sat down with him and I kind of told him, and I said, talk to your dad. And it's kind of like, if you're trying to become a football champion, a football star, you can't have somebody that's on the sidelines, bringing you down, or that's on the field that's not going to help you, get those goals. And that's what I tell everybody. If you've got a home life that's, stressful and dramaful, you need to get out of that.
100%.
I don't believe in family is blood. I just don't believe that. I've never have. I had a buddy who was like, I'm adopted. And, he was just like, and I'm like, get over it, dude. Sometimes I wish I didn't have, real, my blood. Like everybody, most of people, not everybody, but a lot of people have that person in the family that just F's it up for everybody, and that is my aunt on my mom's side. So it's almost like I was living a Cinderella story, because she was so evil, man. But when you go through stuff like that, and you see stuff like that, within your own family, and it ripping your family apart, it's like as you get older, you get more wisdom, and you go, I don't have to go to these family functions. I don't have to feel obligated if I'm going to go and not have a good time. You know what I mean?
Well
and same thing can happen in Web3. There's people that are like, oh, they have that FOMO, and they have FUD. People that are I'm like, don't be that way. A lot of people, I mean, I will say this, a lot of people have gotten out of Safe Moon because of some of the Safe Moon people that have, I guess, come after them and stuff. And I just feel like that's sad. And because here's the deal, like, if you let other people be a part of other projects, those other projects will go, God, the Safe Moon community is so amazing. And then they're going to put in more money, which is going to make the community more money. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
100%.
I'm saying them as example. There's other people, but it's just like, I've had, very well-known OGs in the community, and they're like, man, they're coming after me and saying this and that. And I'm just like, that's ridiculous. There's, one guy on Twitter, apparently, that's, just going around, just saying a bunch of lies and stuff about people on, saying things about people and stuff, just to stir up drama, and those are, and unfortunately you deal with people like that, but overall, Safe Moon is a great company, and I'm invested in it, and I'm thinking to myself, but people have got, well, you're with eCoin. Yeah, I'm the CMO of eCoin. And I'm like, your mom, Monica. Yeah. And what, Yep. Do you have a problem? That's how I feel. That's me. Do you have what are we going to talk about? So,
No,
I can get, I can become a Southern thug when I need to. It scares people because as nice as I am, me and my dad are that way. My dad is just the jolliest guy, but my God, if he changes his tone in his face, it's like thunder of God coming through the clouds.
Yeah, it's terrifying. And it's funny that you mentioned that, because regarding that's something that I always talk about on my podcast, and on most of the times that I have people over, or guests over, I should say, like onto the podcast. That's something that I always talk about, is like, when it comes to crypto, when it comes to NFTs, when it comes, or more specifically like Chronos chain or other chains, right? The biggest thing is being able to go and support each other, right? So
exactly.
Yeah, 100%.
I want to bring DeFi together, Santi. I mean, I want everybody to come together. And the thing is people are scared, and I'm like, I'm not scared. I mean, I am like Wonder Woman. I'm a warrior chick. So if you're going to start a fight with me, you better friggin' end it.
I love it.
So, well, somebody came, said, and I've been lucky. I've had maybe one or two people, somebody came on and said something, and they're like, look at this photo. She doesn't even look like this. That photo, they're like, they thought it was a recent photo. Me and my team laughed our butts off. Some of those comments, you just got to laugh. I'm like Ryan Reynolds. I'll just come back. I'm like, oh, you mean that, that's a 15-year-old photo of me. Yeah, really? Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was yesterday. I time travel very well. You know what I mean? You just gotta laugh at it. And I'm like, and then all of a sudden, all my fans started, just, giving that guy like, what is your problem, dude? And that's how it should be. I feel like, we should come together as communities when we see bad behavior. We shouldn't let people just get away with that. I mean, I always try to be respectful when I go to somebody's house. I mean, these communities, it's like walking into somebody's home. I always bring a gift. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. If they're older than me, I always treat everybody with respect. Yes, sir. No, sir. I do whatever, they have rules, hey, take your shoes off. I do that. But, I just feel like, the leaders also need to call out people for bad behavior. And say, this is unacceptable. This is what I want for my community.
And let me ask you, because I'm very intrigued as to like your whole story, right? Because you give me a very awesome glimpse into your life, and thank you for that, because it gave me more of a back. It's something that I always mention, right? You being able to go and talk to people. Oh, excuse me.
Take some water. Take some water.
Yeah, thank you. One thing is being able to talk to people on spaces or on through Twitter, but another thing is actually talking to people. Like,
right.
Like it's a whole different vibe. I get to know more about you. You get to know a little bit more about me, and it's a different vibe. Now, I do want to ask, because I'm very, very intrigued, because I myself, a little bit of backstory. So I'm really big into acting, right? So like in high school, I was like in drama. I was in drama club, and I did I was the lead role twice. I was the lead role in Footloose as Chuck,
his friend.
No, the bad guy.
Oh no!
Yeah, I was the bad guy.
I would not have put you in that role at all. I would have put you as the main Footloose guy, Kevin Bacon's friend, who everybody loved.
Yes,
you would have been perfect for that. Yeah, I could see, because you're outgoing and stuff. I think you would have been perfect for that part.
No, I did that one, and then I did another one called I forgot what it was, but I played another lead role in that one. I was like the grandpa in that one. And I also I went to, because I'm in Miami. I live in Miami, so it's easier for me to get like, not to get auditions, but like go for auditions and stuff like that. So I went, and I was trying to for In the Heights, and I didn't actually get to go to the audition, even though I'm pretty sure if I would have went to the audition, I probably would have gotten the role. But it's okay. But I do want to ask, just because of myself.
Okay, that's not okay. Why couldn't you make it?
No, I literally I was practicing nonstop. Like I had to, so pretty much my thing in the Heights was I was supposed to learn a rap, right? So I was supposed to learn a rap, and it was it's a Hispanic guy, and I feel like I could have killed it because I speak both Spanish and English. So I was practicing the rap, and I was practicing one of the hardest rap songs like to like practice, which is alphabet aerobics. And like you have to go through A through Z, in like all in order. And then I had to do it, and I killed it. And I just practiced and practiced. But the day of, I forgot what happened. I got sick or something, and like, but like it was like really bad sick, like because I had a little bit of backstory. Like 3 years ago, I had seizures.
Oh.
Yeah, like 3 years ago, I had seizures and stuff. So I got like sick like that, and I ended up being in the hospital for 3 days, and it was just like it was like a mess.
Well,
And it really sucked.
what did they find out? Was it neurological, or
Yep.
is it? Oh, bless your heart. Yeah.
Yeah. So it turns out
I understand. I deal with seizures, but I deal with it with PTSD.
Oh, I see.
Well, I guess it still is neurological, but yeah.
No, for me, they did all the tests that, they were like, because I used to work at the hospital at that time. Because like my biggest thing is like I like helping people, and I wanted to be a surgeon. I want to be a doctor myself.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, thank you. And I was working at the hospital, and one day I was just there, and I fell. I was working, I was transporting a patient, and I fell, and I just started seizing. And I've never seized before. Or I used to see when I was like a little kid, when I was 1 to 2 years old, because I had like a cyst in my brain. But like 3 years ago, I went, and they did the scans and everything. They're like, oh, do drug tests. They did the whole nine. They did everything because they couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. And the worst part was, during those 3 days, I was out of it. Like, anytime that I'd wake up, how I explain it to somebody is like I was underwater. Like I felt my mom. Yeah, I felt my mom and my wife's hands, but like I couldn't talk to them. Like I remember it was rough. It was rough because like all I remember was them like excuse me. All I remember was during that time was them like crying, like, really yeah. And I couldn't do anything. I couldn't interact with them. I couldn't let them know like I'm here. And like I was like stuck in my own body, and that like
I've heard that. Because they say people, that people think they're brain dead, but they can hear everything. And I would just tell them, say, hey, if anything ever happens, watch my finger. And maybe, I just tap to say, and say, hey, tap for A, you know what I mean? Or something like that. Oh, that's terrible. Was it a brain tumor?
No. So what happened was, so the thing is, I'm like not trying to like flex or whatever, but I'm like a really like naturally smart guy. Like I have a higher IQ. So like how the brain works, like it shoots like electricity, right? It shoots electricity through your body.
Yeah.
But my brain, it was running at like it was firing like nonstop, like it pretty much short-circuited itself. Yeah, no, it pretty much short-circuited itself. Like it was like too much electricity was going on. So like they had to go and shave my head down. It was like a whole thing. It sucked. But the reason why I don't want to get into deep into that, but the reason why I'm asking is because I want to get back.
Do you have to take medication for that?
I have to go to do an MRI later on this month, funny enough, for it.
Oh, no, well, you got to let me know how that goes. I'm going to be worried now.
I got you. We'll be in touch for sure. But the reason why I'm asking is because I'm really, really interested in getting back into acting, right? Because like, I was really into acting. I love, as you can see, like I love talking to people. I love, I have that vibe. Like I can go and talk to anybody. I'm the outgoing person, and I've always wanted to be like become an actor, because it's just kind of cool to me. Like being able to like make people happy like through a screen. So how would you recommend? Because I do know that you are an actress yourself. How would you recommend somebody that wants to get into the business, like that really is looking to get into it, and like what is the pitfalls you would avoid or things that you would do if you were starting out brand new?
Well, this is going to be a long. The one thing is too, the NFT line that I've got coming out.
Oh yes.
I have basically, I'm giving people roles in the movie, because I'm damn good at telling somebody on camera what they need to do. So that's right there. That part in the movie that I'm going to be having. Depending on the budget, we may not be able to fly you. We may be able to house you, but
no, that's okay. I'll happily take anything. And being a part of a movie with you would be amazing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm wanting people in the communities. I want the community, they'll be able to be, as a utility, be in the movie. That's one of the things, and so I'm really excited about it. But, if you want to get in, the thing is that everybody has a different story, everybody, of how they made it, so to speak. I came here. I mean, I literally, when I first came to LA, it was just, how can I explain it? I mean, I won a beauty pageant. I went to, as part of the beauty pageant that I won, Miss Nashville, Tennessee. They ended up giving me a package to like go to this, this big, huge, guy that was in television. And he's also a huge acting coach. So I went, that time I was really focused more on music than anything. So, the one thing is that when I went, that's when he told me, he says, I know, music and all this stuff is what you want, but he says, you're really a natural actress. He goes, you need to go. And because of him, I showed at that time, my ex-fiance and his friend, I showed him the tape that we made, and, it was a one-on-one, and he tape recorded everything. And they were like, we need to go. So we ended up coming to LA. So the first thing is the markets. I mean, you're in Florida, so you're good, but you really need to be in the market kind of. But the good thing is now, Atlanta, Nashville, New York, and I would say Miami, Florida those are great markets where you can get work. The top being obviously New York and LA, but I'll tell you, it's pretty huge now, like huge. And then Florida would be the fourth. You've got to get good at having really good lighting. You can go on Amazon, getting a lighting kit, go look on YouTube, find out, how to do a 3 lighting kit. A lot of things now, which, see, this is what I'm jealous of, because when I was in it, we didn't have this EcoCast or self-tape crap. And so it's anybody else that says, oh, I got it hard, I want to just smack them. Because, the thing is it's so much easier now. It puts everybody on a level playing field, because, I mean, I literally, for Anchorman, I mean, I had to go in. You're talking, it took me an hour to get there. You're talking traffic. You're talking, then there was a bunch of other like well-known actresses in for the same role. And, then you go in and then they tape it. Then you have to go in a second time. And then sometimes the whole producers will be there, the cast, or you don't know what you're going to get. So it's kind of like, if you ate a bad burrito bowl that morning and, you got gas in your stomach and you feel like ass,
they're going to know.
You better suck it up, because you only got a couple minutes in front of these people that are going to determine if you got this job. So that's what sucks, because now it's like you got diarrhea, whatever, you run to the bathroom and then you go, all right, let me restart my self-tape now. I mean, it's so much easier now. And some people, I mean, to me, it's the best thing, because it's like you can do it 2 or 3 times, as opposed to you have one take, maybe possibly 2 at the most, if you ask, and most people won't ask. So, you have to watch out for people trying to take your money, like managers or agents. An agent or a manager, if you're starting out, it might be good to go to maybe an acting school, but I don't really like that, because a lot of them, it's a lot of fluff. It's better to be, I tell people, if you're starting out, be an extra. I mean, anybody in the business, Brad Pitt was an extra, Matt Damon, Ben Affleck were extras, Tom Cruise was an extra, everybody was an extra. I started out, I did extra work, and then you can also get up to featured extra, where you're, and then the thing is, you want to get a SAG card. Some people are like, oh, I don't know if I want a SAG card, because then I can't do non-union stuff. But the thing is that, as you build up your resume, then you do need to get a little more particular about what you want. I mean, I look at money I'm making now as opposed to when I first started. It's like night and day, and that's how it should be. You know what I mean? I mean,
you worked your ass off to get there.
Yeah, I did. And so that's kind of what somebody needs to do. You need to get, you need to see what other people, like what's out there, with your resume. Everything's really digital right now. So that's amazing, but make sure you get a photographer. It's good to get somebody that knows about your market, and usually they just want you to look like a real person, but there's a certain, headshots that people, they specialize in, and they always have deals for actors. So that's the first thing I would say. Your headshots are your calling card. Your resume is what backs you up. It's kind of like when you meet somebody, the first stage is, oh, you look good, I like you. You're like, oh, I like you. And then the second stage is, hey, did we get along? Do we have the interests together? So it's kind of like and that's with any business, any company, that's the same format. When you go in, you do, you definitely should get your headshots done first. If you're I would try to download scripts, and there's all these scripts that you can download and just start playing with your wife or your mom, or have them play a character. People always wonder when they come to my house, because I got like this 100-inch television, but on the screen I always have subtitles. See, keeping your television on subtitles, then you can see what the actors are doing. And you can even read along with the subtitles, and then you go, okay, this is how they did it. Oh, interesting. Watch how they're doing it. So you're basically like going to school while you're watching your program. So that's a trick. And this is the first time I've given that trick to anybody. So
alpha, guys, alpha.
Yeah, y'all better appreciate Santi here, because he's pulling that out of me. So, but I would start in extra work. Then you can start putting stuff down. You say, like, hey, I was on Yellowstone, I was on this program, I was on, the Avengers, whatever. And then once you get doing that, you kind of see, watch how the actors are doing, watch it's kind of a learning school, and you're still getting paid for it. So then, so then after that, that's when you feel like, hey, I've got this under my belt, all this, that's when you should go to, start asking friends about agents, managers, or, you start just kind of asking around, going online now. You can request people to be your friends. You can look at television shows and see who the casting director was. Nobody told me that. So I've just saved people. I've just probably shaved 15 years off for some of y'all.
Yeah, that's actually huge, because like for me, so a little bit, so I do have my headshots. Well, actually, I need to update them because I gained a bunch of weight, but I do have my headshots, and like I took a bunch of it because I was really serious about acting, because I've always wanted to be an actor, because I just like being able to make people laugh, and like I kind of like like my vibe. Well, but
I mean, listen, and Santi, I love you, but if you want the boss, the boss to come out, I'll tell you, it's great. You can make people laugh. You can be a stand-up comedian, but there's a flow to that too. And then you got to sit here and think, what am I really good at? Do your pictures show that you're funny? Because you could do, I just looking at you right now with my business brain, I'll just go, okay. I see some where you're smiling, or you got your thumbs up, something that shows a little bit of your personality. Then you'd want something else with like a totally different look. Because I've played, you've got to sit here and write down, what are all the roles that I could play? I could play a brother, I could play a husband, I could play a cook, I could play a detective, I could play, looking at you, you could play a detective, you could play a game warden, you could play a police chief.
That's cool, actually.
Then I see it's like you could be the comedy, like in a comedy, you could be the older brother or the younger brother in a comedy. There's so the thing is that you've got to know, what you can play and do, but at the same time, see, you said comedy and you just want to make people laugh, but see, acting is just not, you've got to know mark. You've got to be able to, when they say cut, and then you've got to be able to right then on there deliver the character. And there's different types of comedy. So somebody never told me that. I had to learn this the hard way. So y'all are really getting a treat, Santi. Y'all are going to like the Harvard, Darcy, Yale of acting right now.
I love it.
So I better get some love here. Y'all better go on and vote for my ass.
Oh yeah, I've been voting for you on NFT3. I've been voting for you every day.
Votes here. All right. Well, so the thing is so you said, hey, I'm in comedy, but see, when, let's say you're going for a role, you should know everything you can with, if you can, because sometimes it's a pilot. If that's a pilot, you kind of have to make up your own actor or your own character. But think it right now, if you want to sit here and do comedy, there's dark comedy, there's slapstick comedy, then there's also dry comedy, dry humor. Arrested Development, that was nominated, but that's different from Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
Totally different comedies. So you got to sit there and go, okay, so what kind of comedy, and since you can do comedy, you need to sit here and go, okay, can I play a dark comedy? Can I do like Ryan Reynolds comedy? Like that's my kind of comedy, is the sarcastic kind of thing.
Okay.
I don't try. Situational comedy is what I'm good at. So, Anchorman was a comedy, but you got to think of, they were serious, but it was still like slapstick. So, any project that you do, you've got to sit here and you've got to, do your homework.
Oh, 100%.
So
100%. And for me, like I was never actually into comedy. Like when I mean like I want to see people smile, like I'm talking about like regarding me being on a screen, like making people proud. I worded it weird, but like like for me, for example, I was in 3 previous plays, but in the 3 of them they were all serious, and one of them was like a serious like it was more of a like prevention, like regarding, it was like more of a suicide awareness kind of of thing. And like all of those are you have to be able to mold yourself into the character. And I remember I was like I did acting school for all 4 years of high school and then 2 years in college, because I was inside of a program that was like a part of the local theater. And and I was in that program, and they would bring in actors, and we'd go, and like I'm talking about, like they'd go, and for example, one of my favorite things that they've ever done was they'd go and they'd just throw you a script, and they're like, okay, become him. And then I literally have to go, and I was like, okay, who is this?
Yeah,
and then
that's called a cold read. You had to do what's called a cold read. Yeah, so
I loved it.
Yeah, cold reads I like. A lot of people don't, so you have the advantage of that. I prefer a cold read, because to me then it's like kind of a blank slate. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's fresh. It's a blank slate. So yeah, I mean, I gave you the kind of the steps. I mean, if you've already done stuff, I mean, put all the stuff that you've done in plays and stuff like that all on there. Any acting schools, any people that taught you stuff. And, that's the thing, is you just start putting down, stuff that you've done. They are always looking for extras in huge movies. And then you can really go in and see what's going on. And then once you have the photos, once you have, a couple of things on your resume, then the next thing you know, that's when you start looking for agents and stuff, in your area. IMDb, you go on, even just going on the internet, you can find pretty much anybody you want. You can pretty much find them on the internet. If they're not on there, then they're really not, then they're not doing anything.
I love that.
Then what's the point, right?
I agree. So I love that. And I didn't even realize that we went way over our time, because like I just love talking to you, dude. Like me
too. Like, well, we got to keep talking for a little bit, because I'm enjoying our conversation.
100%. What we could do is another like 5-ish minutes, because I have to go pick up my wife from work, and she'll kill me if I'm late. But I'm excited. Like, let me tell you, like I love this conversation, because like like I was telling Darcy, like one of my biggest things, like when it comes to podcasts, when it comes to talking to people, just letting the conversation flow. And let me tell you, the conversation's been flowing. I don't want to cut it off, like, but my wife would literally strangle me if I don't pick her up from work.
Yeah, so. See, she's like Monica, your mom. You don't have to worry about it. Yeah, happy life, have a happy wife, happy life. That's the same to be on every man's t-shirt. And that's the other thing too, when it comes to relationships, people are always coming to me. I mean, I've always been in long-term relationships, always, my whole life. And then they ask me, do you I want to get married. So then I'll just say for 5 years, I'll be like, yeah, we're engaged, this is my fiance. But then it really never happens, because I'm like a dude that way. And it's so funny, guys are like that. If you don't press them, you know what I mean? So I'm kind of that. I'm very, it's weird. I'm a dichotomy. It's like I sit here and, I love my blinged out stuff. I mean, I was a crow, I think, in another life, because I love everything sparkly. Anything that sparkles, I'm like, so I'm like the disco, globe queen. I just, everything rhinestone sequence. But then I would be in my frilly dresses and stuff, but then with the boys in the mud, playing with the frogs, getting the snakes. I got in trouble because in church I put a garter snake in my purse, and when we took the money, my grandmother took the money out to give it to the because I always had my little money in my purse, and I said, Grandma, I want my money, I want to give. And she went in, and this was on my dad's side. So she's the complete opposite. She's just very sweet, very, prim and proper. Everybody loves her. And she's like, oh my God, Darcy, there's a snake in here, and it popped out in the pew. I got in trouble, but I learned not to do that again. But it was just, I've always been a boy. I always get it. I have wonderful female friends. I get along with pretty much anybody. I just don't like rude people, but I'll put up with somebody in the business if I have to, or business, but it doesn't mean I really want to work with them ever again.
Yeah, that's true.
But that's the thing. You go on sets, you may be dealing with another A-list actor that you completely despise, and you gotta be professional. Luckily, I mean, I've been lucky. Chris Pratt, worked with him. He was amazing.
No way. You get to work with Chris Pratt? Dude,
yes.
He's awesome.
Modern Family. I mean, come on.
No way.
I mean, Parks and Recreation. Oh God, I just had a brain fart. Yeah, Parks and Recreation, I worked with Chris on. And then Modern Family, I worked with Nathan Fillion, Elizabeth Banks. She was on there.
Sofia Vergara?
You know what? When I first came to LA, I doubled for her.
No.
Yes, when I was a kid, straight off the bus, I doubled for her. And then now what's funny is I went to red carpet. I was one of the celebrity guests, and then me and her husband got photos together. So I was just laughing. I was like, what a small world this is,
Wow, that's awesome. That is so cool.
I thought you knew this. You're supposed to do your work here.
No, what? I love Chris Pratt. Like, I'm a huge.
He's a sweetheart.
He looks awesome.
He deserves it, and he's such. I'm telling you, he's a sweet guy. He is a sweet guy.
Let me ask you, who is the coolest person that you like, or at least your opinion? Who's the coolest actor or actress you've worked with that you're like, okay, I'd love to work with them again, like 100%.
God, man, that's hard. I mean, because I loved Paul Rudd, I loved Will Ferrell. Christina Applegate was really sweet. I gotta say, my buddy Nate Fillion.
Okay.
Him and I just have I don't know. I have a love for Nate. We worked on stuff together. We've did red carpets and stuff. He's just a sweet guy, and I just love him. He's just a sweet guy. He's funny. He's respectful. Oh God, I forgot about. Oh God, on oh God, Nate Fillion, yes, but oh God, I forgot Paul Johansson.
Oh, that's a big one.
Oh my God, Paul's gonna kill me. Yeah, no, I gotta say Paul. I don't know. Okay, I can't say this is too much for me. My brain is going. Okay, I'm seizing out now. No, I'm kidding. No. No, my brain is too much. No, I gotta say it's hard. I mean, because Nate Fillion was amazing, such a sweetheart. But Paul Johansson, I mean, him and I just, starred. I played his love interest in a movie I was just in with him, and so I don't know. Paul is my guy too. So it's terrible. I don't know.
Oh man, that's so cool.
It's always been an entanglement of two guys and me. Always since I was a kid. It's like I can't pick. I love them both. They're amazing actors. They're amazing people. So I don't know. I would just do a toss up at that point. I can't decide.
Oh, that's amazing. So just because we are getting close to the end, so do you have any last things you want to share with the community, with the people listening today?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you so much, for having me. Thank you, Asante, for being such a great, host, interviewer. You're so amazing. I do want to say that, follow me at Darcy Donavan on Twitter, learn more about social media events that I'm attending, but also that's where, if you want to know about crypto or anything, go on there. DM me. I always try to help people. Some people are like, I'm not a financial advisor. I have to make that stipulation. But anything that I tell you, I'm invested in too. I'm always invested. So if I say, hey, I'm invested in this, or I make suggestions, but people can do what they want. But NFT Expoverse, I will be at the LA Convention Center speaking on the 30th, but I'll be there from the 29th through the 31st. Saturday is going to be a big day because I will be speaking. There will be other OGs in the community like Chase from Enhance. Facebook's going to be there. There's going to be a lot of people. Then I've got the NFT3 awards at the iconic Biltmore Hotel in LA. So August 5th through the 7th, I will be speaking on the 6th, and you're going to be speaking there. And you're going to, what day are you speaking?
Oh, they haven't even told me yet.
Oh, they haven't even told you? Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be speaking on both of those events. I'm nominated for 4 awards. So I hope at least I would love to walk away with one at least. So fingers crossed. But it's I would love it if people voted, and I would love it if people showed up. I am going to be giving away. I always give VIP guests to people. Come up and see me. I'll be doing a huge giveaway on stage too, on the 30th. So if you're going to buy a ticket, you need to go on that day, because I'm going to be doing stuff. I've kind of got a bet going with one of the other OGs. He's kind of like, oh, I'm gonna rock it. You better not come before or after me, blah blah blah. So I'm like, well, I'm coming before him, so I'm just gonna have to stick a little sunshine up his cute little butt. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh, is that a challenge? You know how guys are. I'm the same way. I'm like, you gonna rib me? Oh, I'm gonna rib you back, buddy. Okay. If I have to bribe the audience, I'm gonna beat you.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, we like to rib, and that's good. It's good, joking around and ribbing people. So yeah,
100%.
we do that. We do that and people, I can tell you blonde jokes all day long. It doesn't bother me. So,
No,
that's what
I love it.
That's what us Degens do.
True, 100%.
Here you go. What? Let's see. Oh God, I can't believe it. Why are blondes' breasts square?
Why?
Because they forgot to take the tissue out of the box.
I like that one. That's actually pretty funny.
What do you call a blonde with a memory?
What?
A golden retriever.
I like that one. You have some pretty good ones.
Yeah. So
Wow.
listen, I know that I'm smart. I know that, you know what I mean? It's like, it's a stereotypical stereotype. And it's just like, people need to just relax.
Yeah, just have fun.
Up, man.
100%.
It makes fun of yourself. People do it. People get too caught up in life. And, I like to have fun. My main thing is, being classy, spiritual, with anything. I have a sexy brand, but it's classy. And I like humor, inspirational business stuff. That's all my brand is, I think, empower people, make them better, make them amazing so they can go out in the world and take over.
I love it. I love it. I thank you once again, Darcy, for coming on here today.
You're awesome.
Thank you. No, you're truly the best. I'm super excited to get this video out. It should be out later today. But if you guys did like this, I'm for sure. As long as she lets me, I'm for sure gonna have Darcy on again. Oh wait. Oh, yeah. You did our horns. Yeah, as long as she lets me, I'm gonna definitely have Darcy on again. I think we clicked so well, dude, because I love her vibe. She's such a cool person. And if you guys did, thank you. And if you guys did love this video, if you guys did like this video, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next. If you don't like
it, don't do anything.
I love it. And if you guys do like it, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next episode of Essential Investments.